It's the release of Disney Lorcana by Ravensburger.
And we've been to our friendly local game store and bought as much as we can.
So we're here outside Chaos Cards, which is our friendly local game store here in Folkestone, and we're just about to head in and see what excellent things that they have for Lorcana.
Now, we first heard about Lorcana when we went to the UK Games Expo.
Oh boy! First stop is this one, because I think it's going to be the only chance we get to get anywhere near this stand. Yesterday apparently there were queues up to 3 hours long to try to see this magical new wonder that's coming out. Everyone loves the Disney theme.
I can see why this game is so popular. It's got my face on it.
At the UK Games Expo, it was a 3-hour wait just to even see this, so we were lucky to get in there early doors. But at GenCon, it was 6 hours to get to buy it, so we're very lucky to be able to get our hands on a copy today. Now, we're really lucky that our friendly local game store here is Chaos Cards, because not only do they have a fantastic website, but the actual bricks and mortar store is brilliant too. They've not only got the latest new hotness on the shelves, they've also got a big back catalogue of older games that you might have forgotten about and forgotten actually you need. So alongside the shop downstairs, upstairs is a treasure trove of lending library. So the way it works is you pay £2 per person to come and play here for as long as you want. They've got drinks available as well, and they have quite an extensive library here. And on top of that, they have specific games and events that go on throughout the week. So if there's a certain game you want to play, you can choose the library. If there's a big event you want to be a part of, pop in as well.
Have got the Illumineer's Trove here, very excited, lots of booster packs in there, and we've also got a couple of extras just in case, and we also have got a guaranteed Tinkerbell card that's come with that as a little bonus extra, so that's super exciting, and this was all at $49.99 here at Chaos Cards.
So we're back, we're home, and we have a copy of Lorcana.
We do indeed. Now, of course, you would have seen in store we got gifted the Tinkerbell card, so we know we've got this one. But what else is in here? Who knows? Very exciting. Now, unfortunately, Lorcana launched on a Friday. We both work, so we were not able to get down to Chaos Cards on the day of the launch. It's a very popular game. Surprise, surprise. So there weren't actually any starter packs left, which is a little bit of a problem, but I think we're just going to do the best we can with what was there. We've kind of got a plan of action. We did pick up this, and as you would have seen, we have also got a couple of extra booster packs.
So in an ideal world, we would have had a starter deck. We can't do that. So we've kind of taken some inspiration from the tournament that happened at GenCon, and we're hoping that with this set there'll be enough cards and the extra boosters we got to create a kind of rainbow deck. So normally in the game you are limited to just 2 colours of suits. We're kind of going to ignore that for now, and we're going to try to create usable decks of 45 cards. We've looked online and other people have had a similar idea, you know, having enough cards to be able to play a proper game, albeit a slightly shorter game, to get a feel of it, to get an idea of what the game is, have a look at the card art, and really work out, you know, what Lorcana is about. And then down the line, when it's more readily available,
which I think will only be a couple of weeks' time, so not long to wait,
we'll be able to get the starter decks. And what's good is then we would have played this game and we'll know what cards we like, and then we can introduce those into the starter deck, and we're going to get a bit of a leg up on it.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, as you said, I think we will try to get the two colours the best that we can, but we do need to think about the ink curve. And I think by that they say in there that you need to have a variety of ink level of cards. Obviously the higher ink cards are the good cards, the kind of game winning cards, but you need the lower inks in order to be able to start playing them, get them in, to be able to pay to play those cards in the first place. And if you haven't got that range of ink there, I think you're going to end up getting in a sticky situation with your opponent. So we will try to do the colours, as I said, the best we can with what we've got in here, but we'll also be sort of tweaking a little bit of a rainbow deck to kind of make the ink curve work in a temporary situation until we have everything that we need.
Not the ideal, but it's what we're going to do to be able to play Lorcana as soon as possible. Yeah, we're really lucky to get hold of this, because the way they've decided to release these games is that it's going to Free local game stores first before it's available online. So it's going to be available to everyone online in September.
Yeah.
And obviously now this is the, we're midway through August now, so we're getting our hands earlier on this, so it's a case of getting what we could.
Yeah.
But in here is, everything hopefully we're going to need to play it. There's some extras as well. But should we open it up and see what's in it?
Let's go.
Oh. Committed now. No turning back on this Lorcana thing.
And this Trove, which is part of the reason we wanted this, rather than just getting a selection of the booster packs, which this does have inside of it, is that you do get this lovely box to store the game in as well. And then let's have a look within that.
We do like boxes.
So here's some bits and bobs to tell us all about the cards and the game bits there.
We're across what cards are available at the moment, because there's a really good app you can get which allows you to kind of check off the cards as you get them. So we're kind of a little bit across what is available. These little boxes are cool.
Yeah, so these you can store your decks that you make in there. So if we do some sort of dual deck situation, then this is great if you've got sort of Mickey, Moana kind of ones. I don't know who you've got on.
I have Aurora.
And who's on the back?
Mickey.
Oh,
that's good.
Mickey,
now, because obviously you're saying about dual decks and starter decks, and I have never played a collectible card game before. This is entirely new to me.
Yeah, I have played some of the dual decks of Magic, and I think I probably back in the day played one or two other games, but I've never really sort of been into like collecting extra cards, getting booster packs, all that kind of stuff is a little bit newer. But I do have a set of dual decks that I have played, relatively often. Nicely within here, that you've got these kind of containers to just hold your decks and things in there. There's room for plenty of cards in there, even once we've built these and put those in as well. And then we have all of these.
How many do we get? We get 8.
Eight, I believe. Yeah.
And
so
we've also
that's
got some
4
tokens
that
here.
we can open each.
So essentially, the booster packs are $4.99 each for 12 cards. So essentially, you paid the equivalent of £10 for the box, for the boxes, and the counters.
And this is obviously going to give us some good advice in terms of deck building and things in there as well, which I know that your daughters are quite interested in picking this up too. So I think it will give them some good tips and guides, and I think good practice for them to be storing nicely.
Well, there is that, with the starter decks, you're guaranteed to have a deck that kind of is cohesive. This is all obviously something we're going to have to do more manually now by having the, but it means we're going to have a unique deck.
Yeah, and potentially, I don't know quite the balance in terms of the starter decks, but I mean the likelihood of you having sort of more of the kind of basic simple cards in those starter decks is higher than having sort of maybe 4 of these in it. Let's have 1 character each on the front token. Let's see what we've got, and then we've got 2 more. So we get.
So in here, how does it balance out?
I think you get 1 fun card.
It says 12 cards in everyone, 1 foil.
Yeah.
Which is any rarity, so you might get a super rare or just a normal one.
Exciting.
So I believe every card is a foil variant, but the cards are the same whether they're foil or not.
And I think there's about what was that, 200 and...
Just over 200
204 cards, I
Something
think,
like
because
that,
we downloaded the Lorcana app as well. And I have gone through, and there's several that are on my wish list, so let's hope that this lives up to some of those.
Basically, we want as many stitches as possible. So yeah, you get 1 foil, 2 rares or higher, 3 uncommon and 6 common in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, by getting the boosters, we're guaranteed to have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 good cards. So shall we have a look through these? So we open these up. Yeah, like I said, my first experience of opening booster cards, apart from the ones you kind of get from bottom rounds, I suppose. But yeah, let's open it up and
See how
we'll
we
get
go.
back to it. I think it is worth saying that with any collectible card game, you do have to go into it knowing that there's going to be an expense. I mean, so we spent obviously £60 in total, and if you think about, that's kind of 2 midweight board games you could potentially get. So yes, I think hopefully, without going through them all, there's going to be, with the extra 2 boosters, enough for us to play a game, but there isn't necessarily a guarantee of that. You do have to go into any kind of collectible card game knowing that expense.
Yeah.
But I think it is, from what I've seen of these kinds of games, this is beautiful.
Yeah, the card art is fantastic and lives up to my expectations and the hype of the art that I'd seen previously.
Yeah, I really like,
the launch.
Similar to kind of Villainous, which is probably behind us, it is cohesive. There's no screen grabs, there's not, I think it's all new art.
That's what I heard, it's all individual art, each done, and I think the characters are in keeping with what they do as well. When I've been scrolling through the Lorcana app, it can show you all the cards and everything. I noticed the Ariel ones, because she's one of my favourites, that within those there's one of her as a human, and that card can't sing, whereas the other cards where she's a mermaid can sing. And so it's not only the artwork but also the thematics of how the cards play and what they do in relation to that character and why seem to really tie together well, which I really appreciate for sure.
But so proving what we said earlier, we've got a range of these foil shinier ones that were fancier characters. For example, I got Beast in that. I've got and these look even better when they've got the foil on them. Yeah. But I also got the Sovereign Scimitar in a normal and in a shiny, in a foil one. So it is basically there's no guarantee a foil is going to be a super great card. Yeah, I mean, one of the fanciest ones I did get was Hades, which is a legendary one, and like any other kind of trading card game, you do have these levels of rarity within Lorcana. So this one is legendary, and I've also got another legendary and a couple of super rares here as well, but that was the only one that was foiled, was Hades. But I also have the Elsa Spirit of Winter, the Mickey Mouse Artful Rogue, and Mulan's Imperial Soldier as well. They're all either rare or legendary. And you have a couple, I think. Yeah, well, I think this is one of the benefits of us doing this process rather than getting the starter sets initially, is that we're going to end up with a lot more kind of foil cards with the shiny cards, because I know you only get 2 of those when you buy the starter sets, kind of the cover stars of those. But I managed to get Genie, which I think is a legendary, and A Whole New World. So yeah, they're quite good. We did get from the box. We did get a lot of good characters, or characters at least, headline characters. I've got Moana. I've got a Mickey in here. I've got a Minnie. I've got Scar. I've got Aladdin. Gaston. I've already mentioned Beast.
I've got Stitch.
Yeah, I've got
I've
Stitch.
got stuff from Rapunzel characters as well.
I think certainly certain properties are covered more than others. And I think they are holding stuff back. This is a first chapter, and I've heard kind of talk of what in the future, and that's going to be these kind of twists on famous established characters and just twists on them. So we've seen like Lava Scar, which is Scar made of fire. I've heard about that. So it's going to be interesting going forwards, you know, seeing how they obviously are going to have to make hundreds, if not thousands, of these cards. So they can't just do.
Yeah, not everything's there, but I just like there is a good array of films, of types of cards. The bunches I have here laid out seem relatively even, really.
Yeah.
For 4 packs worth. In terms of the colours, which we haven't delved into just yet in terms of what they do exactly, but I'm sure it will affect their actions and what they're worth and whether you can use them for ink and all of that kind of jazz. It seems relatively well balanced throughout the ones that you opened and the ones that I opened. Yeah.
And my concern was, we've seen this in other games, but it may not be a case of kind of Magic, it's not a case of Pokemon. The foil and the normal ones, you cannot tell from the back.
Ah, that's good, yeah, because that can be a complete giveaway with some.
We've got
some
one
games.
game in particular where you can tell which is the kind. You have to find a hidden card in the process of playing it, and the back of the card is different. So it's like, well, I know it's that one because I can tell from the back of the cards. It's not a case here. Intriguingly, extra in the sets is just like an extra kind of bonus card, which is. It's got the QR code in the back. It forms a Mickey when you collect 4 of them together. Now, intriguingly, this might just be a massive coincidence, we've got 2 complete versions of Mickey. And some of the cards, as we were undoing them, had a lot of kind of overlap in the cards as you're doing it.
Yeah.
So the packs seem very similar with a few variations. Now, it could just be coincidence, but it does seem strange that we ended up with 2 complete versions of Mickey.
Yeah.
And
these sides are different. Like I don't have a fancy foily beast, and I think it tends to be maybe the specials and things are altered throughout each pack, but maybe the base ones there's more.
I'm sure there's some science
within this
that can be found out, but I think there's oftentimes we're opening packets together, and I was like, oh, I've just got those same 3 in this packet. But on the whole.
I'm excited.
And
I'm sure down the line maybe we'll pick up a few more and then we'll have some different options, or perhaps, as we said earlier, we might end up picking up a starter set perhaps.
Yeah.
To kind of bulk things out and get maybe make it easier if the girls want to play, because they'll have a formed set that they can play with, whereas we can then have to mould our sets, and they, you know, whilst we're still learning, they might be better than us.
and deck building is part of it. You know, that is almost half the game. You know, what characters, what cards you're going to take in for a game is all part of it. So yes, whether this is a good way of doing it, it's the only way we can at the moment, because Lorcana is selling out quicker than anything I've seen, and I think a lot of that's to do with Disney. Yeah,
and I think that these Illumineer's chests are in, you know, hot demand, and there might be more of the kind of individual packs available for people to sort of boost pack buy. Certainly there were boxes of the booster packs that you could get for probably double the price of this, which had more booster packs within them. And I'm sure if you got one of those, that would be more enough for two to deck build and everything. That would be absolutely fine if you choose to do it that way rather than the starter packs. But yeah, the starter packs are few and far between until I think they get
once they get the full release in September, it's going to be available. But yes, so we have started this Lorcana road.
Yes, we have.
We've gone down it, and this is where we're at.
I'm intrigued to see which we end up liking more in the long term, Villainous or this. I mean, this is very travel friendly in terms of a little box with a deck that I've built to take away.
I've always been intrigued by it, by collectible card games. Magic was never going to do it for me. Pokemon wasn't doing it. If anything was going to grab me in, it's going to be Star Wars or Disney. We've got Disney first.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what
There's a possibility. Let's just float that idea around. But if you've enjoyed watching what we've been doing, we are BoxedMeeples. We post a video on YouTube at least twice a week, always about board games.
They are indeed, and of course this one has highly featured our friendly local game store, Chaos Cards. Do of course shop local to you if you're able to, but we do have a discount code in the description for you for Chaos Cards if you're shopping online. And of course you're welcome to visit the store and see all the fun things that they do in there as well.
But as always, thanks so much for watching.
Bye!